One of the fun things about running a horse rescue is that each horse has its own different personality. And when you're working with them, it really stands out and really shows. For example, this is Minnie Pearl here. Minnie Pearl, now she is, Pearl, you want to say hi? Say hi, baby. Yep. So she's beautiful, but she's a little bit of a sassy mama, aren't you? Yep. See, she's a little bit of a sassy mama, likes to boss people around. Whereas Bentley over here, hi, Bentley. Come here, sweetheart. She is a sweetheart. She's a lover. Yeah, aren't you? Yeah, you're a lover. And she loves to love on that. But it reminds you when you think about it work, right? Many companies have started using personality profiles in order to build better teams. And I think that's an awesome tactic. And I think everybody should be doing that, right? In fact, I'm a huge fan of it because of what it did for me. Now, years ago, you just used Myers-Briggs, and Myers-Briggs is a great tool. In fact, it's incredibly accurate. The problem with Myers-Briggs or Strength Finders or a lot of the other ones is that it's difficult to remember the information later, right? So I became a real fan of True Colors. Now, this is one that most people don't necessarily know, but it was created by a gentleman named Don Lowry, who was a teacher who wanted to use the personality typing to help him teach his students, except they were elementary kids. And so the problem with elementary kids is they couldn't take the Myers-Briggs and understand all the questions. It wouldn't make sense to them. And so he created this system of 4 colors, 4 quadrants, which most personality systems have, right? And it's based on Myers-Briggs, but something that they could understand and deal with. And I first did it with my team. The first team that I led, that was like a real team in corporate. I was manager where you had people in your store and so on. But first team I really loved in the corporate, I had 4 trainers and 4 writers. So I was running the director for training and development, learning and development in the company. And so I had 4 writers who would write the curriculum and 4 trainers who would take that curriculum and go on the road and use it. And so one day I thought, well, as a team building exercise, let's try this personality typing system. So we did the True Colors thing. And what was fascinating about it was how accurate it was, right? And the things that most times we love taking this. I've taken every one that's out there because I kind of geek out on this stuff. I really enjoy it. But here's the problem if you're using personality typing systems. People think that gives them a license to be that, right? So if the personality says, well, I'm the type of person who just tells it like it is, right? That's just what it's all about. You're just going to get it. I'm just keeping it real, right? That's what they like to say. And then they take the test. The test says, you're the kind of person that likes to keep it real, likes to tell it like it is. They take that as a license to be that. Like that. Now they can walk around the company and go, okay, well, you can't tell me what to do because this test says that this is me. And so you just have to deal with it. You have to change. It's the opposite is true. If you're using these systems, it's the opposite that's actually true. So let me give you an example. I was the type of leader who believed in the golden rule, like treat others the way you want to be treated. And so I am an orange. I'm probably the poster child for orange if you study True Colors at all. And which means that I love freedom and flexibility and autonomy and being empowered and creativity and the adventure of the whole thing, right? My idea of an ideal vacation would be, let's just drive to the airport right now and wherever the next flight's going, that's where we're going. Let's go do it. We'll figure it out from there. But that's how I was treating my employees, right? That's what I was doing with them. What I found is all of my writers were golds. Now, what is a gold? A gold is somebody who loves lists, to-do lists. They love direction. They love specifics. They love details, right? And they have all that. So I would call them into the office and I would say, hey, look, we've gotten a lot of information that we're having a lot of people get injured in the stores. And so we need to do a training series to help release some of that back injury problems that we're having and people be more safe, right? And I'm assigning that to you. So good luck. Right. And to me, I'm thinking, wow, that's awesome. I have full autonomy, full creativity, do whatever I need to do. And what I found is that since my employees were gold, as an orange, that was like exactly what I wanted. My employees are gold. What they were doing is they're going back to the cubicle and they were kind of, talking about me with not very good adjectives under their breath, right? Because I was very much frustrating them. They needed details. They needed more information. You see, the problem is, we think that is a license, like I said, to just be us. I can walk around now and say, I can be who I am and you just have to deal with it. It's the opposite. I had to change, right? If I wanted my team to be successful, I couldn't be the orange version of me. I had to adapt to be what they needed to be. And that's what all great leadership is. So if you're using personality profiles in your company and you're doing that, I think that's awesome. I think you should. I think it's helped me tremendously through my career. But make sure that everybody understands the purpose of them. The purpose of them is for you to change. The purpose for you to realize that the person you're with needs you to act differently, or when you are who you are, when you are that personality, how it impacts others negatively. There's a lot of emotional intelligence, a lot of EQ that comes into this conversation as well that we could delve into, but just really staying with the fact that don't let those tests, don't let those profiles give you license to be you. Instead, use that opportunity to make a better version of you when you're working with your fellow employees.